Brose, your pants are wet, must be very uncomfortable. I have new ones here, let me put them on for you. I looked at the school bully across from me, his face twisted with anger, with a sincere expression. Everyone who heard let out a snicker. No matter, as long as I lick once more, I'll get the 50 million licking dog bonus. That night, the 50 million bonus arrived, and I immediately said goodbye to the school heartthrob. I didn't expect him to block me in the classroom the next day. What, did I wait all day for new pants and get nothing? After being bound to the licking dog system, it told me I had to lick the most handsome man 250 times to get the bonus. Ridiculous, a top accounting department beauty licking a man? System, 50 million. Who's the most handsome? I'll go lick. So, under the system's guidance, I found the most handsome, single, and most bad-tempered school heartthrob and bully, Luze. First meeting, I saw him grabbing a classmate by the collar like a little chick, his 1.9-meter aura like a mountain. I backed off. System, 50 million. Bro, does your hand hurt? It's all red from pulling. I rushed over quickly to care. You okay, bro? Who's your bro? Who are you? His cocky tone scared me. System, if I get beaten, is it work-related injury? System. I'm an unknown little girl who admires you. I looked at him with starry eyes, acting so well even I believed it. Wow, I should have stuck to my dream of majoring in acting back then. He gave me a cold glance. Can we add WeChat? I took out my phone. No. Which dorm building are you in? I'll bring you lunch tomorrow. My plan was perfect, 3 meals a day, I'd finish my licking dog task soon. No need. He looked at me like I was crazy and walked off. But it's fine, school heartthrobs have some fame. With a casual ask, I even knew the name of the plushie by his bedside. So you, aren't you not interested in men, just focused on making money? Yeah, that's right. I took notes on Luze's info. I'm very professional, take the money and get the job done. I'll definitely lick Luze until he's comfortable and clear. The next day, I forced myself out of bed to buy breakfast and waited under Luze's building. Passers-by couldn't help but glance at me twice. My charm is unbeatable. I flicked my hair confidently. Finally, I saw my sugar daddy. Luze. I waved at him. Luze clearly didn't want to deal with me, but now he had to. Why are you here? I brought you breakfast. You love the Xiaolong Bao from the old cafeteria's second floor, right? I got up super early to buy them. I turned into a fangirl again. You really want to be famous? He said, leaning closer to me. Huh? Facing his sudden closeness, I felt uncomfortable and wanted to step back. Don't you check your zipper before going out? He wrapped an arm around my waist, stopping me from stepping back, and whispered to me. My heart instantly sank, but when I saw my beautiful pale waist faintly exposed, my gloom vanished. He. I shoved the bun into his hand and zipped up without a change in expression. Help, I can't face anyone now. The bun is pretty good. He stuffed one into his mouth. $8. I made a gun gesture with my hand. He choked. So, I still managed to add his WeChat, starting a double act of online and offline bootlicking. I was everywhere on his path, and every time he opened his phone, I was there too, but I licked with a rhythm, disappearing just before his tolerance hit the limit, so I wouldn't end up in the hospital before getting paid. Watching the bootlicking count rise day by day, I felt overjoyed. But when I got cornered in the bathroom, I realized this money wasn't so easy to earn, and not everyone could be Luze's bootlicker. Stop right there. A few girls cornered me in the bathroom, their voices loud enough to scare off the girls washing their hands. What do you want? I crossed my arms over my chest, staring warily at these hostile girls. No way, they're not going to bully me on campus, are they? Not going to strip me and take dirty pictures, right? My mind flashed with various terrifying scenarios, and finally, I clasped my hands together. Ladies, we're all mature college students, let's talk this out. You're Luze's bootlicker? The lead girl looked me up and down. I didn't expect my bootlicker reputation to spread so fast. Though for me, saving face is nothing compared to 50 million, being called out like this still stings. Luze's handsome and fit, so many girls like him, I'm just one more. Seeing the girls didn't seem ready to hit me, I casually washed my hands, but when it came to his body, I couldn't help remembering the time he hugged me to stop me from flashing, the muscles bulging on his arm. Sure, many like him, but only you can be Luze's bootlicker. The girl pointed at me, with a few tears and 9 parts of resentment in her eyes. So, should I be proud of being Luze's bootlicker? Little sister, focus on your studies. I said earnestly, when you get chosen by the bootlicker system one day, you'll understand my plight. Then can you give me Luze's WeChat? The girl changed her tune quickly, her hopeful eyes made it hard to refuse, and anyway, I could give it, but Luze could just not accept. Sure. I pulled out my phone without hesitation. So you, dare you? A male voice suddenly appeared, startling us. At the bathroom door, Luze's face was dark. Suyu, are you giving my WeChat to other girls? System, detected target person has strong dissatisfaction with host. If not appeased within specified time, accumulated simping count will be cleared. Countdown starts at 5 minutes, 4 minutes 59 seconds down. Can it be like this? Watching Luze turn and leave, I directly pushed through the girls around me in one stride, and sprinted 100 meters trying to catch up. Seeing Luze getting farther away, the system kept counting down mercilessly. In panic, I shouted loudly, Luze, wait for me. Luze paused for a second, then kept walking forward. I struggled through the crowd to catch up. Luze, don't be angry, I was wrong. I shouldn't have given your WeChat to others so quickly, making you look cheap. I should have been reserved and helped you delay another 15 seconds, no. 30 seconds. In panic, I started to speak recklessly. Luze looked up at me in disbelief. Suyu, you really dare to say anything? Aren't you afraid I'll hit you? He went against the crowd and covered my mouth and nose. I took a big breath, hot air spraying onto his palm. Luze's ears turned red, looking at me, then at his hand. I broke free and circled in front of Luze, but tripped over his leg and fell to the ground ungracefully. Suyu, are you a pig? Luze's helpless voice came from above, and he reached out to pull me up. Alright, I got scolded again. I held my aching knee but still apologized immediately. I really shouldn't have, I was wrong. I said with tears in my eyes while enduring pain. You don't even know what you did wrong. I couldn't see Luze's expression and asked weakly, I shouldn't have given your WeChat to others? As my words fell, the system seemed to get excited, emitting a sizzling sound. The next second, the system suddenly announced, detected target person's dissatisfaction with host is resolved, host's simping count is retained. I breathed a sigh of relief. 50 million, saved. Suyu, do you like me that much? Luze turned his head away, his voice a little nervous. You are the school heartthrob, how many people like you? I flattered like a lackey. That's it? Well. You play basketball well, you have good grades, and you can fight. Most importantly, you can make me rich. I racked my brain to answer, and after finishing, I saw him sigh, a bit helpless. Is your knee okay? Ouch, I just fell, what do you think? I really wanted to kick him. I'll carry you to the hospital. Luze bent down. Is this still the school bully I know? I was a bit stunned. No, it's not that serious. I waved my hands repeatedly, I don't want to be laughed at by the doctor. Laughed at? Luze looked around, and a few gossiping students quickly turned and ran downstairs. At the same time, someone posted a new update on WeChat's campus wall. Question: why does the department beauty act like a simping dog? Many unfriendly comments followed one after another. LOL, I used to chase her, never thought she'd be this kind of person. So pathetic, every day follows Luce like a dog with begging eyes. Snap her fingers and she goes to bed, right? This kind of woman. Luce shouldn't be ruined by someone like her. Among those stirring the pot were many guys who had confessed to me. Now they were relieved I hadn't accepted, even spreading rumors about how much I charged per night. Don't you think my persistent sucking up to you is a joke? I gripped my phone tightly. I really needed the money. Even though I had mentally prepared myself when taking on this task, seeing those comments still broke me. Back in the dorm, I buried my head under the covers and slept. When I woke up, I groggily opened my phone. The campus wall had not only deleted the bad comments about me but also added many anonymous apologies. My evaluation of Suyu was pure slander, sorry. I was blinded by jealousy, truly sorry. Even the wall admin posted, spreading rumors is illegal. Wall will be more careful in the future, sorry, Suyu what? I got cleared just like that? The easiest way to destroy a girl is through slut-shaming, and these guys who talk trash fear nothing but a fist. Other than Luce, I couldn't think of anyone else with the power to make them all apologize. Thank you, I sent sincerely. I saw typing. Flickering, then a message came through. Just 3 words, I froze. Luce sent a screenshot. It was what I had said when I was licking his boots. Saw you at the basketball court today, but I had class, couldn't bring you water. Brose, among the crowd, you're the brightest star. Seeing my own cringy, flattering chat history thrown in my face made me dig out a dreamy Barbie castle with my toes. I showered Luce with praise. After the system judged I had successfully licked him once, I made an excuse to slip away. Luce suddenly asked, no bro? Just a few words, but I weirdly imagined Luce leaning down, smirking, and whispering in my ear with an irresistible voice, call me bro. Goosebumps erupted. Damn my overactive imagination. Was my bro that kind of person? Afraid to upset him, I sent a fawning bro. System, detected target's pleasure value, judged host successfully licked once. Current count, 222/250. Just calling him bro worked? I quickly sent a barrage of bro-s like I was on a sugar high. Luce replied with an ellipsis, and the system didn't chime. Alright, I was too naive. The next day, I yawned and bought Luce breakfast as usual. When I swiped my card, it was only 8 yuan. The meager balance made me realize I had no money to eat. When licking Luce's boots, I didn't spend much money. Even every time I brought him a meal, he would give me a bit more, but as a principled bootlicker, how could I take extra cash? As I sighed, my grandmother called me. Hey, darling, have you eaten? Her familiar voice made my eyes redden instantly. Holding a bag of steamed buns, I walked toward Luce's dormitory. The aroma wafted into my nose non-stop, and my stomach, on cue, let out a growl. I've eaten, Grandma, have you? I tried to keep my voice steady. Oh, Grandma ate long ago. I was wondering if you still have living expenses. I made some money recently and wanted to give you some. Grandma, I told you not to work. You're old, what if you fall? I leaned against the pillar where I used to wait for Luce, frowning. Just thinking of her bent back, holding a broom under the scorching sun, made my heart ache. If I could try harder, Grandma wouldn't have to work at her age. How could I not? Grandma wants to earn more too. I know it pains you spending your dad's money. I lied to her, saying my dad sends me 2,000 yuan a month, which I can't even spend. In truth, after he cheated and divorced, he cut all ties with us. He deleted my WeChat, blocked all my contacts, and went off to another city with a 50-year-old woman to be her live-in son-in-law, vanishing without a trace. After that, my mom's personality changed completely. She got with a man who said he couldn't accept me, so she abandoned me too. Only Grandma and Grandpa stepped up. You treat Yuyu like this? Fine, she'll live with us. Don't ever come back. After I entered college, I lived on student loans and scholarships, delivering food on my days off. It was exhausting, but I made good money. Until one heavy rainstorm, delivering my last order, I was soaked through, my hand trembling as I knocked. The girl who opened the door was startled, but she warmly wrapped me in a towel and dried me with a hairdryer. "Hey, Sheen, look, does she fit the model you're looking for?" The girl named Sheen turned around, her eyes lighting up. "Please, be our model." Paid, under their repeated persuasion, I shot the school's promotional video. That's how I earned the title of Department Flower. I thought it was just a fluke, but people started approaching me, offering money for photo shoots to showcase their photography skills. I began researching paid shoots, posting on Douyin to boost my fame, until brands came to me for model shots. Once, I earned 1,500 yuan. Excitedly, I transferred it to Grandma's card, telling her, "Your granddaughter has made it." But the spam texts and calls also increased. In the dorm, there was a girl from a similar background as mine, and she was envious of me making money just by taking photos. Although she was above average in looks, she was too short, and her overall conditions didn't meet the merchant's standards. Only unknown merchants were willing to offer extremely low prices to hire her. She didn't want to shoot for low pay, so she got a wild idea to sell my photos online. She secretly took candid shots of my daily life and stole my worn socks to sell online. Luckily, the evidence was solid, and she was expelled. I held back my bitterness and replied to Grandma, "No need, Grandma. I can earn a lot of money now, I don't even need Dad." "You child, you must be working hard," Grandma said with concern. "Not hard, just taking photos, and I get to wear skirts," I said lightly, pretending it was easy. Yeah, compared to biking to deliver takeout under the scorching sun, it was easier. "Grandma, I gotta go. Listen to me, don't work anymore, or I'll be so worried I can't eat." I pouted pitifully, only hanging up after hearing her promise. I looked up and met Luzay's gaze. Damn, I had no idea how much he heard. I wanted to hand him the bun, but he narrowed his eyes slightly and saw right through me. "Did you skip breakfast?" "How do you know?" "No brainer, your lips are all white." He grabbed the bag of soup dumplings, picked one out, and stuffed it into my mouth. So I finished the whole basket of soup dumplings and let out a satisfied burp. "Then, what will you eat?" I realized the issue and looked up at him cautiously. "Me? Don't I have legs, can't I buy my own?" He raised his hand and tapped my head, just a light tap. I watched him deliberately slow down his strike, his bent index finger landing softly on my head, and found it a bit amusing. "Let's go," he said. "Where?" "I haven't eaten yet." "Oh, I'm done, so I'll head off first." The moment I said that, I heard the system detect the target's dissatisfaction again. I quickly put on a fawning smile and clung to his arm like a loyal lackey. "Got it, I'll accompany you, sir. Be good, call me Big Brother." He suddenly leaned down and whispered softly in my ear. I could even feel his breath brushing my ear, turning it a shade of pink. "Blushing already?" He chuckled lightly. Rarely seeing the school bully smile, I not only blushed but also shamelessly drooled a little. System, detected target's pleasure value, judging host has successfully licked once, current total count 223/250. The system's voice brought me back to my senses. I realized I was still clinging to Luzay's arm and quickly let go, standing up straight. "Am I that good-looking that you're drooling?" Luzay's smile widened, and I awkwardly turned my face away, caught red-handed. "If we don't go eat soon, we'll be late for class." Luzay took me to the cafeteria, and we drew quite a few stairs along the way. The thousands of balance displayed on the card he placed on the card machine stung my eyes. "Brother Zay, could you lend me 100 yuan?" As a simp, having to borrow money from the one I'm simping over, I must be the first, right? Luzay was eating a bun. I watched him eat, his Adam's apple bobbing as he swallowed. I shamelessly swallowed again. Woo-woo, am I a pervert? Hungry again, eat. Luzay thought I was drooling from hunger, pushed the bun toward me. What could I do? Should I say I wasn't drooling over the bun, but over Luzay? After eating, Luze transferred 100 yuan to me. I quickly expressed my full gratitude. Brother Zay, you're my god. When I have money, I'll pay you back, huh? No need, just promise me one thing. Luze's mouth curled up again. I sensed danger and quickly stated my position. I won't do anything illegal. Do you think I'd let you do anything illegal? A hint of speechlessness showed in his eyes. Tomorrow at 6 p.m., basketball court, bring me water. Just that? Before, I had brought water to Luze. Though he ignored me at first, as I simped more, I could ignore the embarrassment. After a few times, I felt buying water was too expensive, so I stopped. Since I took his money, I must buy him the most expensive sports drink. I happily carried the drink to the basketball court. Luze was playing for his college, they'd reached the finals, while ours was eliminated in the first round. But many girls from our college came to watch handsome guys. When I entered, Luze's team was down by 1 point. No wonder, he was absent-minded when passing, eyes glancing at the door, and he even noticed me sneaking to the edge of the court immediately. He smiled at me and threw a three-pointer. I didn't expect the school bully could put on such an act. Ah, the girls' screams pierced the sky. The boys clapped loudly and roared, Brother Zay is awesome. Did he just smile? Really handsome, slurp slurp. And 8-pack abs, so want to see him take off his clothes. The front row girls' discussion reached my ears. Suddenly I felt this task was exceptionally difficult. Before, when I brought water and was rejected, all I got was embarrassment. Now if he accepts, wouldn't I be slaughtered by their gazes? Unexpectedly, at halftime, Luze didn't go to his rest area but strode toward me. He's coming, he's coming. What's he coming over for? Is he going to take off his clothes and throw them to us? Lady, the game isn't over yet, and you're thinking about that? I was originally in their blind spot, but now their eyes followed Luze and found me hiding under the stands. You're not doing your job as a water bringer, I have to come find you myself. The stray hairs on his forehead were wet with sweat, his cheeks slightly red, his chest heaving from intense exercise. Ah, I'm too embarrassed to go over. Feeling everyone's eyes on me, I shoved the water into Luze's arms. Mission complete, I'm outta here. Luze's mouth instantly drooped, looking almost pitiful. System, detected target's strong dissatisfaction with host. Failure to appease within set time will clear accumulated bootlicking count. Countdown begins, 5 minutes, 4 minutes 59 seconds. I'll sneak out and buy you another bottle. I quickly changed my tune, clapping a fist into my palm. Only when the system said the count was preserved did I breathe a sigh of relief. What did you call me? Bro? I tested the word, and when the system said my bootlicking count increased by 1, I got it. Luze liked being called bro. He was satisfied, wiping his sweaty hand over my head. Good, stay here and watch me crush the opponent. In the second half, Luze played fiercely, the score gap widening. Some girls started discussing our relationship. That's the department belle, heard she's Luze's bootlicker. Feels like Luze treats her differently. No way, I just started standing Luze, and it's already over? He didn't accept water before. I sighed. But I kinda dig her looks, I'm shipping this couple first. Just then, the system suddenly spoke. Warm reminder, if host licks the target before 250 missions, the task is deemed failed. The game neared its end, closing with another three-pointer from Luze. The opponent lay on the ground panting, crazy, is this guy normal? The door opened, and a very pretty girl walked in with water. Her striking presence caught my eye, and I didn't even notice Luze approaching. Zay, I had dance class tonight, so I couldn't watch your game, the girl said, her gentle voice making even my heart flutter. And this is, Suyu? Yes, I'm Suyu, and you are? I'm Wenwan. I saw your photo in the campus bell vote. Wenwan's tone remained soft, but she tightened her grip on the drink. Oh, oh. I nodded, and from the girls in the audience, I learned she was the campus belle who beat me by 15 votes. Back when those votes were happening, I was out making money and knew nothing. When Juan stood next to Luze, somehow matching him perfectly. Sigh, maybe Luze just called me over to annoy the campus belle. Luze, here's your water. No need, I have a girlfriend. I don't drink others' water. Luze picked up the half-finished water from my hand, saying to Juan. Who's your girlfriend? Don't misunderstand, miss. I'm just one of Luze's many fans. I quickly denied it, since my task wasn't done yet. Oh. When Juan looked at Luze's darkened face and smiled with relief. It seems you still need to work harder. She left a sentence, placing the water in my hand. I'm heading back to the dorm first, you can have the water. When Juan's departing figure looked a bit lonely. Did you hurt her feelings? I said to Luze with a pang of sympathy. You hurt my feelings. Luze turned his back, somehow also carrying a hint of loneliness. Ah, don't be upset. Afraid he'd get angry, I quickly soothed him. Look, you were so handsome tonight, all the screams were for you. All the applause was for you. So did you scream for me? He turned his head, staring at me with burning eyes. Me? I was too busy covering my ears, no mood to scream. I also think you're super handsome. I gave a thumbs up. Suyu, has anyone ever told you you're a bit dumb? No, I'm top of the class, won a national award, who'd call me dumb? But that girl Wanwan seemed sad, you should remember to comfort her. I, Luze, never comfort anyone. 10 times left until the task was complete, I could see the 50 million waving at me. But I was so broke I could barely make ends meet, so I took a high-paying offline photoshoot job. After finishing, I received the money smoothly, kept 200 for myself, and sent the rest to my grandmother, telling her and my grandfather to buy more meat. My grandfather's illness cost a lot, and the few thousand I earned was just a drop in the bucket. I logged into a game I hadn't played in a while and saw Luze was online too. He'd set up a room with 4 people already. Suddenly, I thought I could suck up to him in the game too. Just 10 more times, and my grandfather could get the best treatment. I hadn't played in a while and was hesitating whether to join Luze's team when Luze sent me an invite first. Seeing the newcomer was a girl, Luze's teammates went primal, letting out ape-like yells. Whoa 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 Luze, who's this? Introduce her. A girl, a real girl. Little sis, just lie back, we big bros will carry you. Shut up, you're all echoing. Luze's cold voice rang out, and his roommates reluctantly muted their mics. Suyu, unmute. Under the orders of the sugar daddy, I turned on my microphone. First off, I haven't played in ages, don't blame me if we lose. No worries, we're all playing on SMF accounts. If Zay's around, anyone scolding you won't live to see tomorrow. Loud. 2 words from Luze shut his roommates up. I hesitated and picked Yao Yao Princess, and the enemy had Sun Tzu. I loved crashing into ships the most. At the start, I followed Diao Chan in the mid lane. Diao Chan seemed happy and did a few spins, letting me admire her graceful dance. Don't mind them, follow me. Jungle Luze picked Yunzhongjin. I wasn't keen on being a Siamese twin, so I hesitated in the mid lane, thinking of helping the ADC fighting 1v2. It's fine, sis, follow Yunzhongjin, he can carry you. After the ADC Sun Shangxiang got a double kill, I knew this round was probably easy for them. I silently gave a thumbs up and mounted Yunzhongjin. Sis, why is your Yao Yao naked, Luze, you don't even buy your CP a skin. Diao-chan teased. Shut up. Luze got a triple kill easily, then asked me, aren't you gonna give me a like? If not now, when, I'll not only like it, I'll praise him out loud. Wow, brother Luze, your Yun Zhongjuan is amazing. My admiration for you is like an endless river. I didn't expect you to be handsome, fit, good at basketball, and play games so well. With each act of simping, my praise grew louder. I heard his roommate's suppressed laughter, but that didn't matter. Even when Luze dove the tower and died to it, I could say, "Brother Luze, you're still handsome even in death. It's all this tower's fault, I'll hit it for you." Don't. I basic attacked the tower once and tried to run, but I got surrounded by 3 enemies and died instantly. Don't go, they're coming. Luze's voice carried a hint of helplessness. I heard his roommate's voice rise an octave. "Ooh-hoo, Luze, you smiled? How rare, Luze." "Shut up," Luze carried me as we dominated. All I had to do was keep praising non-stop. The word brother was worn out from my mouth. After 5 games, I successfully simped for Luze 7 times. If I'd known it was this easy, I would have dragged Luze into games every day. "I hate it, I quit the game." Luze messaged me to log in again for one more match. I saw a new mail, it was Yao Yao Princess's skin. Got it? Thank you, I was touched. I planned to take 20 out of my 200 to buy him milk tea. Not inviting your roommates, a bunch of light bulbs. Luze silently complained to himself. No. They don't deserve to see your new clothes. The game was still loading. My WeChat popped a message. "Miss Yu, want to date?" It was from the boss who wanted me to model. After I replied sorry, the boss sent something that made me freeze. It was a video of me changing clothes, down to my underwear. "Miss Suyu, I really like you. That's why I gave you such a high price. Let's date for a while, then I'll delete the video, how about it?" "Boss, you have a wife, you said she's pregnant. Is this fair to her?" I typed with trembling hands. "You don't need to worry about that. My wife depends on me to support her. Even if she knew, she wouldn't do anything. You're a good girl, besides, you need money, right? I'll give it to you." He sent a few more videos. I felt sick, wanting to throw up. "Suyu, what's wrong?" Luze circled around me in-game. I realized I was still playing and quickly said, "It's nothing." The game ended in 6 or 7 minutes. Luze got over 10 kills, and the enemy surrendered. I quickly quit the game. The boss had probably been targeting me for a while. I'd blocked his Douyin account. He knew about my family situation. He said if I didn't agree, he'd send the video to my grandma. My offline shoots are usually through acquaintances, but I didn't expect to meet the wrong person this time and fall into his trap. "Suyu, I'm downstairs at your dorm, I need to talk to you about something." I quickly got up, threw on some clothes, and went downstairs. Luze stood under the dim light, the yellow glow making him look so gentle. "What's up?" I hurried over. "You've been crying," he stated firmly. "No, I haven't." As soon as I opened my mouth, tears started flowing uncontrollably. "What happened?" He seemed flustered, clumsily wiping my tears with awkward yet gentle movements. I couldn't help but tell him everything. He replied, "Got it, don't cry, go to sleep first." I sniffled, thought for a moment, and said, "I'm planning to call the police, don't do anything rash." "Okay, I won't act rashly." He reached out, hesitated for a second, then gently hugged me. "It's not your fault, get some sleep." Before I could call the police, the next day's headline news showed my boss in handcuffs. It turned out the boss had assaulted many young girls under the same pretext, and his wife had been kept in the dark all along. Luze used some means to contact the boss's wife. After learning the truth, she directly turned against her husband, called the police, and found evidence. With her help, the police directly obtained evidence of the boss harassing and threatening models. I wasn't the only victim, the boss was a repeat offender, targeting pretty girls from poor families with coercion and temptation. Even half a year ago, he got a girl pregnant. After his wife sent him to prison, she also aborted the child. The boss's wife called me, "I've deleted those videos, and I apologize on behalf of that scumbag." When I got the call, Luze was right beside me. I blinked, feeling incredulous. "Luze." "Hmm?" His voice was deep and magnetic. I looked at him, my face turning red. Now Luze wasn't just my sugar daddy, he was my lifesaver. And now, my savior spoke up. What do you want to eat? I'll take you to celebrate. My savior wants to celebrate with me, so touching. I knew that without Luze's help, this wouldn't have been resolved so quickly. Luze leaned against a tree trunk, eyes slightly closed, his sharp profile and long eyelashes standing out. It's so unfair, a grown man with such long eyelashes. I muttered, and he seemed to hear me, looking at me with bright eyes. What are you mumbling about? Hurry up and decide where to eat. He suddenly took my hand. After eating, come to class with me in the afternoon. Oh, okay. 3 more times and I'd succeed in winning him over. I felt like I'd been injected with new life and energy. I smiled at him, and he suddenly said, "You're cute. Me?" The celebratory meal was enjoyable, and I successfully won Luze over twice. After eating, Luze took me to his class. I saw Wenwan again, her expression was sour, her smile a bit stiff. Alas, such a pretty girl, why does Luze not like her? I let my mind wander, thinking how to keep simping for this last time. At this moment, the guy next to Luze accidentally knocked over a cup, water spilled directly onto Luze's pants. Damn sorry bro. The voice was very familiar, it must be Diao-chan from that gaming day. SSS. Luze grabbed napkins to save his pants. Like you peed your pants, ha ha ha. Another roommate laughed mercilessly, underwear is all wet. Brose, must be uncomfortable being wet, I have new underwear, I'll change it for you. My mouth was faster than my brain, after realizing what I said, my heart had 10,000 alpacas stampeding. It's fine, 50 million, I pretended to look sincerely at Luze whose face was twisted with anger. Everyone who heard it let out a snicker. Ha 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 little sis, is it men's underwear? The instigator Diao-chan still dared to mock me. Luze's face was full of black lines, he threw me a help me answer roll call and hurried back to change pants. Alas, facing a room full of unfamiliar classmates, I melancholically lay on the desk. Meow, I'm a girl, how can I answer roll call for you? So, when the teacher called the roll, I hid my head with a book, disguised my voice as a guy's and said a muffled here. The teacher was startled, the whole class was holding back laughter, I saw Wenwan couldn't help covering her mouth with her hand. Truly a refined lady, even smiling so beautifully. I was dazed for a moment. That's Wenwan, sister-in-law, don't worry, Zabro observes male virtue, haven't done anything disloyal to you. Diao-chan thought I was dissatisfied with Wenwan and quickly explained. Who is your sister-in-law? Task not yet finished, don't shout recklessly, it could be fatal. Ah, Zabro is so useless. Diao-chan muttered. By the way, why is Luze the school bully? I asked curiously. School bully? Ha ha ha, rumors spread by others. Diao-chan explained to me in detail. That was a sunny afternoon, freshman PE class, Luze chose taekwondo. The taekwondo teacher was very irresponsible, Luze rolled his eyes at the teacher's moves, just as the teacher saw it. The teacher was very angry, wanted to teach him a lesson, so told Luze to fight him one-on-one. Unexpectedly Luze was a taekwondo black belt, directly kicked the teacher down, left a line, your moves aren't standard, how can you be a teacher, turned and left. The next day, the teacher, ashamed and indignant, directly resigned. So everyone went from Luze directly knocked the teacher down to Luze broke the teacher's bones to Luze almost beat the teacher to death. The teacher was paralyzed and went to the hospital, rumors getting more absurd. I couldn't help laughing out loud. The teacher on stage, that classmate Luze, speak a bit softer. I forced myself to hold it in. But somehow, that who is your sister-in-law eventually reached Luze's ears. Causing later no matter how I talked to Luze, the simp system was not triggered, alas, really shouldn't have said that. Only one step away from success, I calmed my restless heart, telling myself to take it slow. After class the next day, as I was slowly packing my bag, Luce appeared at my classroom door. My classmates sped off like they were on fast forward, and even my roommate gave me a suggestive look. "Luce is here for you." My sixth sense told me Luce was still angry. "Sue you." His gaze locked onto me. I didn't dare run. If I triggered a reset again, I'd be in tears. I put on a smile and walked toward him as if nothing was wrong. "Morning, Brother Zay." He reached out and pressed me against the wall. "What, I waited all day for that new underwear and you didn't give it to me?" "Ah." I realized things were bad. His dangerous look and rolling Adam's apple made me blush. He had one hand against the wall. I could have stepped right to escape this danger zone, but my legs were weak and wouldn't move. He just stared at me, his dark eyes seeming to pull me in, and I lost my focus for a moment. "Do you actually?" His lips parted, but suddenly he was interrupted by a faint sound. We both looked back. Auntie was mopping the floor. She saw us and said calmly, "Go on, I didn't see anything." Luce. As she left, she couldn't help sighing, "Youth is so wonderful." Luce and I looked at each other, blushing and embarrassed. The mood was broken. Just as Luce was gathering courage to finish his question, my phone rang. It was the neighbor auntie's number. My heart skipped a beat. She never called me. It must mean something happened to my grandparents. I answered immediately. "Hey, your grandma fell and is in the hospital. Can you come back?" As soon as I heard that, tears poured out uncontrollably. "I'm coming right now." I fumbled to open my phone to buy a ticket, but as luck would have it, only 2 departures were gone, leaving only business class on an evening flight. Luce, can you lend me some money?" "Don't panic, what happened?" His voice brought me back to reason. "I need to go home. Something happened to my grandma." "I'll handle it, come with me." He held out his hand. The warmth from his palm reassured me. He led me to his car and messaged our advisor to ask for leave. "It's a 2-hour drive, hold tight." He leaned over to fasten my seatbelt, and my lips accidentally brushed his ear. He froze. "I didn't mean to." I scrambled to explain. "MHM." His voice dragged, with a hint of allure. At that moment, the system suddenly spoke up. "Host, you're a successful simp now." I completed the task in that instant. I stared at the extra 50 million in my account, completely stunned. Luce's eyes were soft enough to drip. He held my hand, opened his mouth to speak. Suddenly, the neighbor aunt called again. "Your grandma's mood isn't good." "Is she okay?" "She refuses treatment and insists on going back." "Aunt, please watch her for me." My eyes reddened, looking at Luce with mixed feelings. "Don't let her worry about money. I've earned a lot from part-time jobs." "Okay." "Is grandma okay?" Luce asked. She just doesn't want to spend money and secretly worked behind my back." At that, my tears fell again. Luce looked at me heavily. "Don't cry. I'm not good at comforting." Though he said that, his tone was tender enough to spoil. My heart softened because of his words. "Thank you, Luce." After getting out, I went straight to the hospital and heard Grandma scolding herself for being useless, falling while sweeping. "Grandma, what are you doing?" I pushed open the door and saw her leg bandaged. "Baby, I'm holding you back again." She covered her face with rough hands, trembling and crying. "What holding back? Without you, I'd have starved." I hugged her tightly. The neighbor aunt silently left, seeing Luce outside. "Young man, who are you?" "I'll soon be Yu's boyfriend." Luce pondered, then said. "Oh, you're handsome, treat her well. She's had a hard life." The aunt pulled Luce to chatter. "Grandma, rest well. My friend told me of a hospital that can cure grandpa. I'll move you there, and we can be together every day." "Child, where do you have so much money?" I couldn't tell her about the system. She'd think I was crazy. "Oh, I bought a lottery ticket and won 50 million. I whispered in her ear. What? I'm illiterate, don't fool me. With a valid reason, I showed her the money. She counted the zeros with her fingers. Such a long string. Yes, maybe my rescuing kittens and dogs moved heaven to let me win. But don't tell anyone, not even Grandpa. Don't worry, it's our big secret. We pinky swore. Oh, my friend drove me here. I opened the door and pulled Luce and Grandma's eyes lit up. The young man is really good looking. Thank you, Grandma. Luce accompanied me around. I told him about buying a house. He knew one already decorated but never lived in, 100 SQM, enough for 3. He showed me photos, my style. Don't worry, I bought several houses. I won't let you lose. I trust you 100%, moving, transferring hospitals. The elderly neighbor lady was teary-eyed, and I assured her I would come home. She nodded and said, have a smooth journey. After settling my grandparents in, I realized why Luce had recommended this apartment. That guy was the owner himself, and he had bought an entire floor. He lived right next door. Let me give you the money first. Wait, Suyu, did you win the lottery? He was very puzzled. Indeed, not long ago, I was a broke person who had to borrow 100 yuan from him for food, and now I could buy an apartment. But I definitely couldn't use the lottery excuse with him. You didn't. He suddenly flew into a rage, gripping my arm. What are you thinking? I just, while sucking up to you, sucked and got rich. My voice grew softer. This was the truth, but it felt even less believable than winning the lottery. I told him about the system. Though he didn't believe it, he didn't question me either. Maybe he thought the world was so vast that anything was possible? As long as you're not hurt, it's fine. He sighed. I became a little rich woman. I donated part of the money to children in impoverished mountain areas, deposited the rest into my grandmother's account, and kept only a few tens of thousands for living expenses. I continued working part-time while studying, but unlike before, I now had a school bully by my side. He accompanied me to every offline photo shoot. When he saw me suffering, he would glare at the bosses, and their voices would shrink. I put on my clothes and walked out of the fitting room. At that moment, the ferocious school bully was facing away from me, whispering angrily. What kind of love system is this? I'm still single, get lost. Do I lack your 50 million? Can it really keep Suyu safe for life? When he turned around, I was staring at him blankly. Oh, sand got in my eyes. I gently wiped away my tears. I really liked Luce, but he was too outstanding. When I followed him to parties, I always realized how huge our class gap was. They talked about stocks and finance, everything I couldn't join in. I also didn't have Wenwan's many talents. My only skill might be being a mic hog at KTV'd. I started feeling insecure. I thought about how my parents had such a good relationship, but in the end, didn't they go their separate ways? So when faced with Luce's burning gaze, I chose to avoid it quietly. He stood there awkwardly. Let's be together. I rushed toward him, and he reached out to catch me steadily. Suyu, I thought you didn't like me. The 1.9-meter-tall guy burst into tears while holding me, and I couldn't help but laugh. No. He suddenly changed his mind, and I froze. I had a confession ceremony planned for a long time, but I haven't used it yet. Wait, let's go back now and confess. So, my beloved held sunflowers, and amid the applause of friends and family and the sound of fireworks, he confessed to me. To be honest, it was a bit dramatic, but whatever. I'm going on a date with Luce now. See you if fate allows.